Okay, it happens to be Saturday afternoon, April the 6th, 2013. Can you dig that?
I'm digging it, man.
You're digging it? Well, I'm glad you're digging it. You should be digging it. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Progressive Discussions. I am your host for Progressive Discussions, James P. Madonna of MegaLife21, as seen on the web. Just Google it. And I'm here at the Newsletter-Censored Research Center in northeastern New Jersey. It happens, finally spring weather is here without the freezing temperatures at night. No more 32 degrees Fahrenheit and below. So it's a lovely sunny day. I think, would you say it's going to be
47.
It's 47 degrees Fahrenheit now, and it's supposed to be a high of what?
53.
53. Okay, let me,
Entertaining.
besides that,
Oh.
let me officially and formally pipe aboard our progressive pirate ship, my illustrious co-host and mentor, right now, with my authentic bosun's whistle, exact replica of what they had in the 12th century, the English Navy, which I believe was during the Crusades, used for communication on the high seas.
What about the low seas?
The low seas? Oh, then you could scream. You could scream and you can shout and everybody will hear you.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, welcome aboard, matey, aboard our progressive pirate ship, the one and only, the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, founder of Newsletter-Censored in 1977. How are you doing this Saturday, sir?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, you know, I'm getting a little tired of these damn crossing guards. These crossing guards. Now, when I was a kid, we did not have school crossing guards crossing us and also crossing adults and children over the age of 18, which they shouldn't really cross. They should be able to. I mean, if you don't know how to cross a street safely at 18 or 21 or any older age, you have problems. But every time, I mean, if it happens to be close to 3 p.m. and the kids are going to be getting out of school soon, or if they are getting out of school, okay, I don't mind a crossing guard crossing a minor. That's their job, you know. And of course, the cops patrol around and around and around the school area. There's usually a police car, you know, because there's a lot of sick wackos today, evil people that like to harass and kidnap and, you know, children. So I'm glad there's police protection. But damn it, if somebody 18 or older needs to cross the street, I feel I shouldn't have to wait for an adult to be crossed by a crossing guard. Are they trying to validate their job and make it seem like they're more effective and more, you know, required? Why do I have to wait every time an adult needs to cross the street? Yeah, I don't know. All right. The Chiselers Hall of Shame,
Oh, boy.
which is our new segment, which originated on my very large, fast-growing Facebook group called Everything is Food, as well as my other group, political group, Hard Hitting Truth. It is a consumer advocate-related segment. The Chiselers Hall of Shame. Shame on you, Geek Squad of Best Buy. I went there to purchase a more memory a storage card, SIM card, whatever you want to call it, SD card, to be exact, for my camcorder, and I have never done it before, and I have never installed such a card into a camera before. So I was told by the salesperson, after he showed me a SD card that would be compatible for the camera, he told me to go to the Geek Squad. I go to the Geek Squad, and the geek, a young man, it was at Paramus, New Jersey, Best Buy. He had no idea whether or not the SD card was compatible with my camera. He had no idea where to put the SD card, where to install it. He had to go ask this female, a young female. They were all young, in the Geek Squad, who works for the Geek Squad department. He had to ask her for advice on how to do everything. He was totally clueless. So my take on it is that Best Buy, which is a corporation, it's a chain, doesn't want to pay the higher salary for real techies, for real IT people. They're cheap.
So what's new?
They want to go. They're cheap, but when they advertise, they'll brag about, oh, we have the Geek Squad, and they're there to help you, the Best Buy customer, because we care about the Best Buy customer. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So what else is new? You're absolutely right about that. The company now, it's well known that artificial sweeteners are chemicals. They're industrial chemicals, like the late great Dr. Carlton Fredericks used to say. But they're all no good. They all have negative side effects. Your aspartame, even your sucralose. Well, the company that makes sucralose, forget about saccharin and the rest of them. The company that makes sucralose, Splenda, came out with a so-called natural, a natural sweetener that comes from the extract of the monk fruit. In China, they call it lo hong quo. So they're advertising now, and it's called Nutress. Well, lo and behold, I read the ingredients on the Nutress box, and there's extract of monk fruit in there. It's there. But there's a whole host of other words that I cannot pronounce that well. Bunch of chemicals, artificial sweeteners, right in there as a blend with the monk fruit extract. So shame on you also, the company that makes Splenda. And of course, NutraSweet. I don't know why they call it NutraSweet, because aspartame is a chemical, and it's not good for you at all. It's bad. So shame on you also, Best Buy, the company that makes Splenda. And I just want to say, talk about ass kissers. Barbara Walters did it to Jesse Ventura when, she did not believe him. She sided with the powers that be. She didn't want to buck the system, but she bucked Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory of what concerning 9/11. So that's a form of network kiss the ass, or kissing the sponsor's ass or the government's ass. But David Letterman, who's supposed to be a liberal, making jokes about conservatives every night, every time he has one of those conservatives as a guest on his show, whether it be Donald Trump, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, or whatever, he's always being extra nice to them, and he's always saying, I hope this doesn't offend you. He's like walking on eggshells when he interviews them. Oh, I hope this doesn't offend you, because I don't want it to come across that way. And he's so worried about what he says. So what I'm getting to is, there are many ass kissers. There are social ass kissers, men that want to get in a girl's pants. So they tell a woman exactly what they want to hear, and they become yes boys. There's corporate ass kissers. If you have a job, and whatever the company says, you agree. You walk in lockstep. And the same thing applies to the media, entertainment. You have the mainstream media in America, who never tells you the real truth, because maybe the sponsors who are corporations won't like that, and they might lose their job. There's many forms of ass kissers, and in this case, you know, you have Letterman, who is walking on eggshells. Maybe he does it because perhaps he wants the guest to come back on his show, because if he doesn't kiss their ass, maybe they won't come back.
Don't forget, he did say he's going to vote for Christie.
And that's another thing. He professes to be a progressive liberal, and he tells Chris Christie jokes every night. And when Chris Christie was on David Letterman's show, he pledged to support Chris Christie, and he said it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes him a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it also makes him an ass kisser.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Chris Christie, he only hugged Obama and was a warm, kinder, gentler, fuzzy, lovable Chris Christie because he needed money for Tropical Storm Sandy victims. He needed money from President Obama. So right after Obama left, and of course many Sandy victims still didn't get help,
Yeah, but the contractors will, won't they?
The contractors.
Yeah.
The evil twin of Chris Christie came back right away, returned. He hasn't, like my grandmother used to say, a wolf may lose his hair but not his habits. It's like saying a leopard doesn't change
Fur.
his spots. Fur. No, actually, anything in the canine family, sir, has hair. A cat, a feline has fur.
Why does a dog have hair?
Dogs have a stronger root system. It's more coarse.
Oh boy.
You know, like a rabbit would be furry. You know, when the fur flies, when they say let the fur flies when there's a cat fight.
Ooh.
So, you know, there's many ass kissers. Now, speaking of ass kissers, recently I was banned for 15 days on Facebook from posting anything anywhere except on my groups I'm allowed to, and my timeline, my profile. But I'm banned.
Wait a minute. Anywhere?
I can't post
How come you're posting on my thing?
because you're my friends.
So what do they mean anywhere?
Like other organizational groups, promo pages, business pages, like anybody outside
Okay.
of my friends list, or anything outside of my groups.
All right.
I can't do it. I can't post any
All right.
comments at all. Now, so I'm in the doghouse for 15 days. Yeah, I'm in the doghouse for 15 days. The levity bells. And, you know, right before that happened, I was arguing with some so-called progressive liberals on a Facebook page called Being Liberal.
See?
Now, Being Liberal is a page that has tons of photos of FDR and his wife Eleanor, and it seems like the people on Being Liberal cannot accept the fact that the Democratic Party today is just not the party of Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Harry Truman. It is not the same Democratic Party, and they won't accept the fact that the Democrats of today are corporatists and have and are doing the similar things as Republicans.
Well, as far back as Clinton, that's what they claimed. The new Democrats. And they went after the corporations and everything. Hey, give us the money. We're going to take care of you people like the Republicans do. The new Democrats.
The Blue Dogs.
Blue Dogs, Blue Dogs. But they do claim to be new Democrats.
Hey, those new Democrats voted against health care reform and the public option way back. They voted against that. And they also voted for this Monsanto Protection Act, which I will read something.
And Obama signed it.
Yeah. Talk about new Democrats and Blue Dog and corporatist Democrats. Even Bill Clinton and Hillary were corporatists.
That's what I'm saying.
You know.
Yes, way back when. Remember, something else. way back when, in the 60s, Democrats were the what the hell were they called? The
Party
in
of
the
the people?
South. No, in the South. They were for segregation and etc.
Really?
Democrats, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Was George Wallace a Democrat?
Yes.
And he made racial statements.
Yes.
And then he took it
What do
back.
you mean? He stood in front of the stupid college or whatever the hell it was so the blacks couldn't come in. And then he had the nerve to run for president.
And he was a Democrat.
Dixiecrats. That's what they would call it back then.
Dixiecrats.
Yeah. You know, with that southern... you see, the South has a different interpretation of the Constitution than we have. And that's how they were back then. And then when Johnson gets the civil rights law passed,
Right.
you know, they're like different now.
Right.
And now the Republicans took over the Southern strategy, and they're like the Dixiecrats now.
Well, there seems to be a lot of what the Reverend Dr. Bill calls right-wing flamers on being liberal, compared to other pages, other web pages, other groups. There's a lot of people that go in there with the sole purpose of pushing buttons and getting under the skin of progressive liberals and starting controversy and argument. So I was duking it out with some of these flamers, and also, this is recently, and also many of the people from being liberal just happen to be living in the past. They still think it's the Democratic Party of FDR, which it's not. FDR Truman. So maybe one of those people put in a complaint against me, which, you know, I'm being accused of spamming. Now, you know me. I'm the last person in the world that would ever be supportive of spamming. Spamming is underhanded tactics used by businesses, and you know it's one very annoying, obnoxious, pushy aspect of the capitalist system, and I am not in favor of spammers. So they're accusing me of spamming because I'm posting a lot of information on other pages. Now, mind you, if you looked at the information that I post, many of it is political, some of it is conspiracy theory oriented, many of them are truthful articles that pertain to, let's say, the evils of Monsanto or and genetically modified foods. You know, they're all positive, informative posts. They're not spam. But Facebook doesn't want you, you know, they started off being a friends networking company, and but today they're so overprotective and paranoid. They don't want you to network with anybody. They want you to only fraternize with people you know personally. So they're constantly banning people for whatever, 15 days, 30 days. So what's the point? I mean, if you can't promote something, you know, look, the people that run a web page, if they don't like what you posted, all they have to do is click it and, you know, and delete it. Apparently, 99.9999% of everything I post never gets deleted by anyone, and I get kudos on it. So I don't know what the big deal is. So it's ridiculous. I don't know what kind of people run Facebook, but you know, they're what a bunch of doofuses and dorks. I mean, you know, I mean, that's the purpose of Facebook. Communication between people that have the same interests as you. So anyway, okay. Speaking of Monsanto,
Actually, the job of Facebook is to put an advertisement in front of your face and have you buy something.
well, everything free, everything offered for free online, whether it be a free website or whether it be a free Yahoo account or whatever, they all are pushy when it comes to putting advertisements on your page, on your profile. And recently, I use Firefox. I use Mozilla Firefox as my browser for certain reasons. I like it very much. Recently, the pop-up blocker, which is on, is not working. And I am getting all this extra advertisement popping up automatically on a separate Firefox page. It opened up a new tab with an advertisement plus additional pop-ups. So, Chisler's Hall of Shame. Shame on you, Firefox. Also, the Flash plugin is malfunctioning again. Adobe Flash is not working because the Firefox Flash plugin is malfunctioning. So, you know.
Another thing they're doing is when you go somewhere, happened to me the other day when I went to Dr. Gonzalez's page.
Okay.
I think it was Gonzalez's page. Or this thing comes up, and there's, if you, it's got maybe an accept at the bottom, but it's got no X gadget to turn it off. The only way you can turn it off is go up the top, and as if you're going to click off the page itself. Then you click it off.
Okay.
But there's no other way to click it off. Now, how are people going to understand that?
You're right.
They're not going to know how to do it.
It's not self-explanatory.
Yeah. Some of it'll be like, oh, you have won something. Yeah, you're the first guy. You're somebody from Teaneck, New Jersey. Yeah, and you won this, that, and the other thing. Except, first of all, I'm not from Teaneck, New Jersey. So why would I trust something of that nature?
You know, I get these spam pop-ups from all these dating websites that tells you these women are waiting for you right in your hometown.
Oh, my harem! My harem!
That's what they look like. They all look like Sports Illustrated models.
Oh, yeah, they're waiting for me, baby.
And the whole kit and caboodle lives in my town. How come I've never seen them shopping and everything? So, come on, give me a break. They all live in my town. They're always in my town.
Right next door.
Yeah, the girl next door. Meanwhile, she looks like a swimsuit model or a car show model and everything. Yeah, how could they all be from my town? So, Facebook, Yahoo, all of yous, everything. Shame on you. Even Tripod is doing it. Shame on you for forcing more and more advertisement and pop-ups on people's pages. Because, why? Because you get it for free, and if you don't want any ads, you gotta pay a fee. And that rhymed, I know. You gotta pay a fee. Fee, fi, fo, fum. And I was discussing with a friend last night about what you told me, that in this modern day America, we have to totally depend our very existence on receiving money from an employer, from a corporation, receiving a salary, receiving
private sector
job, receiving money from them, and having to pay out of pocket for absolutely everything in life today.
Not only that,
which means your life, you owe your life and your existence to some private sector job, some private sector corporation. That's a big chiseler that should be in the Hall of Shame.
Way back when, in the 20s and 30s, when they started fringe benefits, these were tax deductible for the corporations and etc., etc. Today, of course, they're doing away with pensions and fringe benefits, health insurance and everything like that. But gee whiz, they're not paying any taxes. 60% of the corporations ain't paying taxes, and their profit margin is just going through the roof.
Why should middle class and poor America lose what they so drastically need to preserve? Social Security,
because
Medicare.
We allow it.
That's true.
We allow it.
And meanwhile, the congressmen and senators in Washington, as well as the governors throughout the nation, continue to get raises, continue to make very large sums of money, and get perks and get freebies and the best health care and the best retirement and the best of everything. Okay? And it just keeps on going on, and people put up with it. Americans, they don't want to get involved. They let it happen. They don't hold their feet to the fire.
All of these things are done by choices, which means They can be changed. They were changed back in the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s up until the 70s, when we made it so that the benefits of the economy would go more towards the middle class and the poor rather than the rich. But ever since Ronald Reagan, we've skewed it the other way.
The patron saint of Republicans. And the true consumer is the little guy.
Yeah, because there's more of us than the yacht buyers.
Well, Main Street has always supplied all of our needs, not Wall Street, in traditional America. You know, the mom and pops who took the profit from you and took care of their families.
Yeah, put it back into the community.
Yeah, not
in China.
Not helping to make some blood-sucking CEO of a corporation richer than he already is, but to help the small business owners raise their families, take care of their families, you know, and they had expertise, the small businessman, the entrepreneurs, the mom and pop stores. These people had expertise, and often when you shop on Main Street, everything was within walking distance.
Mm-hmm.
You can get all your needs taken care of in walking distance. You know, but you know, let me. I mean, I can go on and on with the Chislers Hall of Shame. I mean, it's unbelievable, and because we have a Republican-controlled Congress, companies are deregulated, so they're allowed to steal from you, lie to you, mislead you. You know, and then you know.
And remember, anything that's invested in China ain't invested in America.
No.
So that improves China,
right?
Not America.
Okay, here we go. Listen to this carefully.
Ooh. Okay.
Senator Roy Blunt.
Roy.
I think it's Roy.
He's a very blunt man.
Yeah. And after I read this, I would assume he's a Republican, but nothing surprises me today. Maybe he's one of those blue dog new Democrats. Senator Roy Blunt. It did not state what state he represented, but he's a senator of the United States Senate. Senator Roy Blunt admitted that he wrote the anonymous Monsanto Protection Act.
Oh, yeah, and he slipped
And let me finish.
Slipped it in.
I got to start over again, because that's my quirk. Senator Roy Blunt admitted that he wrote the anonymous Monsanto Protection Budget Act between 2008 and 2012. Monsanto and
Big
Agra PACs gave Blunt $524,500. Period. That's all I have to say on that.
End.
That
explains it all.
It's very self-explanatory.
But the problem is why they allow that situation to occur.
That is true.
When you are doing a bill,
that is true.
That's it. Period. The bill. You want to put amendments on there so they can be voted on, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you do not slip something in the dead of night like they did with Medicare Part D and all that other crap.
It's kind of sleazy and underhanded, isn't it?
Well, that's the only way they can get their stuff through. It's the same thing with Republicans. They want to gerrymander the districts and etc. so that they can get elected, because they can't get elected on their ideas, because the people of the United States reject them.
I'm sure the ugly old turtle face Mitch McConnell had his palm greased many times, as well as the Weeper of the House, crybaby John Boehner. I'm sure his palm was greased. I'm sure many Democrats' palms were greased.
They're all greased.
You know, and
there are no statesmen.
No.
Bernie
Sanders.
Statesman, because he's a socialist. That's why.
I salute the great.
He's not an independent. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's a socialist.
He represents Vermont or New Hampshire?
Vermont.
From the state of Vermont. Senator
Bernie
Sanders. with my lucky blackthorn shillelagh imported from Ireland. Okay, let us sink our teeth.
Our vampire teeth.
Or piranha teeth, because they call me James Piranha Madonna in the wrestling circle. Oh, by the way, the reinforcer Andrew Anderson, current, three-time and current ECPW World Heavyweight Champion, as well as one of the stars of the movie The Wrestler, Golden Globe Award winning, was at an autograph signing last night with many legends.
Ooh.
Many legends.
Legends.
And he had a great time, and he took some wonderful photos. So,
did he take any photos of Velvet Sky?
no, Velvet wasn't there.
She wasn't there, eh?
People, everybody is buzzing over Velvet Sky. Have you seen photos of Velvet Sky?
Yes, I have. I've seen her wrestle.
For a white,
I've seen her take off down to bra and panties.
she was on Thursday night on TNA Impact at 8 p.m.
TNA, what is that, tits and ass?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, TNA means Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling.
Oh.
And Impact show is on every Thursday.
Where's the chess channel?
What?
Well, if they have a channel for gardening, they have a channel
Would you
for
let me finish, for
wrestling.
God's sake?
Where's
Yes,
the chess
let
channel?
me finish. It is on Spike TV.
Oh, Spike does movies too.
Yeah. Yes, they
Man movies.
do. Man movies.
That's correct.
Right, like action.
Action.
Action. Like Stallone, whatever, Schwarzenegger, whatever. So, Velvet Sky is there, and she's dressed quite appropriately to show her curvaceous figure, and she's got like a Latina body for a white girl. She's curvaceous. She's got the butt. She bends all the way over when she gets in the ring and shakes her butt.
Yeah.
And she is currently the Knockouts champion, and she used to belong to a group called the Beautiful People. So Velvet Sky is Velvet Sky. She's I'm sure she will have a very bright future, maybe in acting, across the board. So I predict great things for Velvet Sky. I like Gail Kim, the Asian girl. I think ever since she turned heel, ever since she became a villain, she is more attractive and sexier than when she was a baby face in the WWE. Let us sink our piranha teeth into these readings, sir.
As a former United States Attorney for New Jersey, Governor Christie must be aware of the state's pay-to-play laws. How sad that the lobbying firm representing Ashbrit Inc., the company the state hired to clean up after Sandy,
Oh, yeah.
held a campaign fundraiser for Christie in Virginia in February.
A fundraiser for his grocery bill? For his grocery supplies?
Because he got them the money to clean up after Sandy.
You notice
Pay
that,
for play,
do you
baby.
notice that the money going to Sandy, most of it seems to be allocated in bringing back the businesses on the Jersey Shore boardwalk,
Yeah.
and not necessarily for the victims that lost their homes?
No. Don't, hey. We got a problem in this country. We have 1.4 million people whose homes are underwater, and I don't mean from the flood. I mean they can't pay their mortgages anymore. Did they get any help from the bailouts? No, but the banks got it all, baby.
Or what about the homeless veterans of Iran and Afghanistan?
Oh yeah, there was something
living in tents.
Yeah, there was something on TV about those Lakewood, but I didn't
But
get
that's
it.
Lakewood, New Jersey. Don't confuse the veterans
not
in
the ones in Florida.
No.
But something's going on down there. I mean, I know they were trying to throw them out. Get them the hell out of the
woods. Can you
woods.
imagine that? You're homeless, you're living in the woods in a tent, and the town tries to evict you from the woods.
Right.
Oh, yeah. What luxury. Oh, I'm living in a tent in the woods. I should be thankful. What is it? Is it an apartment to to the people that run Lakewood, New Jersey?
It's free living, and they don't like that. They want you to pay some private person contracted
Fuck
for your
them.
life.
The whole concept, and this message is for teabaggers and Republicans, conservatives, whatever. Fuck you, concerning the fact that you want people to pay out of pocket for every damn thing just to exist in a democracy like the United States. Screw private sector. I trust big government way more than I will ever trust a corporation.
Well, you see, one of our problems,
And rightfully so.
one of our problems is we don't understand which part of the government is too big. We think it's the entitlement programs that are too big.
And many of them are not true entitlement programs. Many of them are rights.
Well,
They
yeah.
should be rights, and rightfully so, they should be
If
rights.
someone is taking away your right to pull the banana off the banana bush
It's not a bush. It
eat
grows on a stalk, a tree. Anyway,
on the stalk, whatever. If someone is controlling or preventing your right from taking the banana off the stalk
from Mother Nature.
from Mother Nature to survive, then you have a right to bypass that by surviving. Now, in a moneyed world, who would be the ones to supply that ability for you to survive? Those
Well,
with the money.
The
Correct.
private sector, the corporations.
Whatever.
In a
Whoever
moneyed
has
world.
the money.
Yeah, whoever has the money. So what the conservatives are saying, what the Republicans are saying, is contrary to what God says in the Bible about whom the earth's resources and wealth really belongs to.
And not only that,
The earth belongs to God, and God says share it. So what Republicans are saying, that claim to be Christians, what they're saying is, oh no, we want private sector to own the earth and charge you a fee for everything.
or give you a job.
Oh yeah, a minimum wage job with no benefits, or maybe even less than minimum wage, like those poor Philippines that are getting $1 an hour to work in the office, inbound call center. Oh yeah, that's a job.
Now remember, under God's economics, if you're hungry, you are allowed to go into your neighbor's field and take what you want to fill your belly.
Here, here, brother.
You can't take it out and then sell it
No.
like a good capitalist would do. But God wants the neighbors to provide for that. So who would be your neighbors in a moneyed world that should be doing the providing? Those with the money.
Those with the money.
Correct.
Those that
Thank you.
he who has the most gold rules.
Well, we don't want them to rule.
Is the golden rule of conservatives.
We want sharing
We want sharing.
among neighbors, among a nation.
That's true.
That's what
A friend of mine who has a few shows, he produces a few shows on a local Time Warner station in Hudson Valley, New York. He says to me, one time he says, I hope you don't go off when you do your show like you do on Facebook, off the air. I hope you don't go off and flip out. Hey, we are FCC free, corporate free,
for now.
no holds barred broadcasting, and telling the truth is the only way I know how to live. Telling the real hard-hitting truth. So, I know people that work in the mainstream media have the FCC to answer to. They have the sponsors, corporations to answer to. They have the station managers. They have to worry about offending someone all the time. So they cannot say what they want. But I couldn't. I realize the pay can be very lucrative, but for me to have my mouth duct taped and my hands tied, I don't know how I can go on doing that for very long. They would have to pay me really, really well for me to keep my mouth shut and bite my tongue. Anyway, finish this article.
Now we have the latest bombshell. Ashbrit benefited directly from its exorbitant fees
Yeah.
because it owns one of the companies it subcontracted to do the Sandy cleanup.
Uh-huh.
The scandal is sad,
Excuse me.
but not surprising.
Yeah.
Since taking office, the governor has had no problem giving huge tax breaks to big corporations. Yet he refuses to raise the minimum wage to help New Jersey's lowest paid workers. His funding cuts to women's health programs have closed several clinics
There you go.
that provided vital health care services in needy communities.
He even closed food pantries in New Jersey, Chris Christie.
He wanted the food, man.
He
all
wanted
for
the food.
himself.
Right.
Christie also refuses to raise taxes on the very richest citizens of our state so they can pay their fair share.
Yeah, that whole trickle down economics bullshit is a lie anyway. You know, your jobs are outsourced. So
He also tried to dismantle the State Council on Affordable Housing
really.
and to cut funding to Abbott districts
Hey, I bet.
at schools.
Oh, okay.
Average New Jersey residents should consider carefully
Levity bells.
why they would vote for a governor who consistently champions the top 1% at the expense of the remaining 99%.
Oh boy, that's not good.
Call me!
Oh, Blondie sang that song. Call me anytime. Da 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 da. Cover me with kisses, baby. You know, American Gigolo.
Is what a little note says on the front of new thongs being marketed for young teen girls by popular lingerie outlets.
So, looking like a slut, acting like a slut or a prostitute is in fashion today.
Also being sold is other sexy lingerie for the same age group.
So, encouraging all the perverts and pedophiles?
Any parent who buys this stuff is begging for trouble.
Damn right. They should check their young daughter's Facebook profiles.
Check her ass? Where the thong is?
Check her ass. First of all,
First of all, somebody has uncovered something to be able to see Call Me on the thong.
Oh, God. These girls go to school dressed like that, you know.
I know, but I just said somebody has to uncover something to be able to see the thong which says Call Me.
Well, the girls are wearing loose-fitting like sweatpants that kind of droop down, and they're half of the top half of the tongue shows. You know how the ghetto boys
drop down
have their
showing.
have 50% of their boxer briefs sticking out, and you know, because their jeans are droopy on purpose. Well, the girls are drooping down, you know, their leotard or their sweatpants, so it's like right a little below the hip bone, and then they're showing the belly, the hip bones, and the tongue is sticking out.
All right, so if the writing is on the top of the thong, then we'll be able to see it.
They're looking for
But if it's-
trouble. No wonder there's so many illegitimate kids being born.
Oh, wait a minute now.
And they don't have abortions anymore. The girls all keep the baby. They all keep it.
The Republicans want them not to. The judge said the other day you had to put Plan B on the shelves so the girls can go and buy it if they happen to accidentally get pregnant. But the Republicans, of course, they don't like that.
No.
They don't like that. They want no abortions. And then when the child is born, to hell with you. No welfare, no help, no job.
Some idiotic Republican governor, I think he was a governor, he said that homosexuality leads to bestiality.
Yeah, well, he's an asshole, ain't he?
Well, they're always making
Well,
comments.
they're always making it. They always claim that homosexuals are pedophiles too. Yet pedophilia is done by heterosexuals way more than ever
statistically
among homosexuals.
I mean, most gay people really maintain and protect their private life, and they enjoy their privacy, and they don't bother anybody. You know what I mean? So this whole what's the word? Singling out gay people and blaming them.
On gay people.
Most of the pedophiles and perverts and what have you are in the heterosexual community.
And remember, all of these attacks, all of them,
And serial
on gays and
yeah.
people and that sort of thing, are religious oriented and have no business in our secular law.
Even Reagan,
business.
Even Reagan did not like to combine church and state. You know.
Well, he did, but he did it not by putting in laws per se.
No.
But he did it. He ass-kissed to the evangelicals. Believe me.
Listen, if
he genuflected.
If churches start influencing government, make them pay taxes.
What do you mean start?
All right. The right-wing fundamentalist evangelical religious nut churches should start paying taxes, since they are influencing government.
Yeah,
Better statement?
Oh yeah, but tell that to the IRS.
Or the IRS? Well, the IRS just does what the law says.
Why did the financial meltdown occur in this country? Because the regulators sat on their hands. And the IRS, in that instance that you're talking about, also sits on its hands.
The bank, you mean they were told to have a hands-off policy?
Correct. Under Mr. George W. Bush. Deregulation.
And what about all the banksters and the Wall Street crooks and the Goldman Sachs boys? They all got off scot-free.
Correct. There's one guy that's going to jail or something.
Do you know why?
Well, because he hurt Goldman Sachs.
Because he supposedly ripped off Goldman Sachs. He's going to prison.
Yeah. Otherwise, none of the big boys or anything in Goldman Sachs are going to prison.
But the people responsible for ripping off the mainstream, the American people, are not going to prison.
No, and they can do the same damn thing again. No laws against it. Let me finish up here because...
Yeah, I think we better finish this reading so we can take a break.
Several weeks ago, in a letter written to one of the Record's advice columnists, the Record is our local newspaper.
Yeah, the local newspaper that can't keep up with Yahoo News with the heavy-duty articles.
The Record's advice columnist, a man wrote that he's having an affair with his former 19-year-old babysitter after his wife left him.
After his wife left him. Maybe she left him because he was banging their babysitter.
Or thought so. Her mother was so happy about this that she took the 19-year-old to get some sexy lingerie.
Nice example the mother's setting.
Are we going nuts?
What is happening to society? Are we going nuts? Are parents going nuts in America? Do you hear what he just said before? Continue.
What happened to parental values?
That's right.
And what the heck happened to sensible clothing products and marketing?
And dress codes when you go to school.
We are losing our values and heading down the road of ancient Rome, which eventually fell.
No wonder the high school gym teachers are getting in trouble fooling around with the young female students. Look how they dress. Look how their parents allow them to dress in school. Very inappropriately.
Shame on the parents who buy this garbage.
That's what. Shame on the parents who buy this garbage.
And double shame on the merchandisers who make and sell it.
They just want to make moolah. The big mamoo. The merchandisers, they'll sell any damn thing if it makes them money.
That's correct.
That's
the capitalist system, baby.
The fashion industry will sell pickle barrels with suspenders attached to them if it became the fashion.
Cool. Well, I like that.
Remember when I was a kid, they used to show poor people,
Yeah.
well, wearing
Or the guys walking down the street that says the end of the world is near.
yeah,
Didn't he wear a barrel
wear
or
a
something?
pickle barrel, and oh,
and the board,
yeah.
the board.
And homeless people were called winos and hobos, and you had and if you were a rich homeless person, you had an organ grinder box with a monkey holding a tin cup.
Hey, remember, I'll tell you something.
Levity bells.
The hobos had it pretty good back then. Because, man, they could go on the train, they get a free ride, they go into the town.
Boxcar Willie.
Boxcar Willie. The town is, they would give them handouts, this, that, and the other. Not today. Can't do any of that stuff today. Where's the freedom? Freedom!
Freedom, freedom.
That the Republicans are always talking about freedom and liberty. And justice for all.
You think we should get spandex outfits with a cape when we do the show?
I love a cape.
Capes make you look very classy, very you would look like the cool Dos Equis man.
Like the
Dos Equis man.
What is it, 19th century? They wore
Stay
capes?
thirsty, my friends.
Yeah, stay thirsty, my friend.
Anyway, it's time for the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman to partake in his gastronomic delight known as lunch, followed by mega nutritional supplementation. All right. I could smell it now. Oh, yeah. Where was I?
Mm-hmm.
We're back. All right. As Dr. Bill is getting his sustenance, I'll bang out a quick promo. See this gentleman right next to me? This is a self-portrait of the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. It is a watercolor painting because the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman is a fine watercolor artist. You can see the entire William J. Well, about 95% of the William J. Eisenman collection because he has new paintings sitting right over there ready to be scanned. And I'm going to show you his absolute newest painting, which he just finished in a moment. You can see the entire William J. Eisenman collection by going to all one word with no spaces, William J. Eisenman collection.tumblr.com. And it's Tumblr, T-U-M-B-L-R. William J. Eisenman collection.tumblr.com. And if you see something you like, go to newslettercensored.com and email Dr. Bill and tell him which painting you like, and if it's still available, you can procure it.
If you see something, say something.
Usually the bidding starts at $500 each, but send him a sizable gift to support this work, and you can have an original watercolor painting signed by William J. Eisenman himself. If you're wondering, if you're asking yourself, how do I be a part of our organization, of this organization? How do I join this organization? What is the foundation of the organization? Well, the answer is simple. Go to newslettercensored.com and read all about Newsletter Censored. It was founded in 1977 by the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. There's nothing like it anywhere. And it's completely different from the mainstream media, of course. It is even more revealing than MSNBC because they have sponsors and they can't tell you everything. So what you do is you go to newslettercensored.com, you click on the printable order form, or you just simply send your gift, however you want to send it. Send your gift to support this work, and you will receive a free annual subscription to Newsletter Censored. That's all you do. just make sure your name and address is printed clearly and bold and big, so there's no screw-ups. You know, there's also a printable order form there, which you can click on and print out. But anyway, there is nothing like Newsletter-Censored out there. We are living in the end times. You need Newsletter-Censored to learn how to defeat a conservative. You need Newsletter-Censored to find out also what the Bible really has to say, not what right-wing, zealot, evangelical fundamentalist, holy roller, so-called born-again, crazy religious nuts in the conservative circle tell you what the Bible says, but what the Bible really has to say. Okay, so there's nothing like Newsletter-Censored, nothing. So get your subscription now. Also, you can Google Censored or The God Project on demand archive classics, and in your leisure you can listen to the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman doing The God Project or doing Censored. It's really great. I mean, there's even a audio player on the Cyber Church of God, which is off of our Mega Life 21 progressive liberal internet talk radio station, which happens to be at the top of newslettercensored.com. There's a big link at the top to our radio station, and when you go there you will see the airtime schedule for all of our shows. Of course, it's Saturday, so today Holistic Health Talk is playing. All right, and then I'm going to show you really quick the patron saint of Republicans, of conservatives, Ronald Reagan, with Ronald Reagan's trickle-down economics. Okay, like it's actually pissle-down economics. Well, in reality, it's siphon up to the 1% economics, the devil's economics, free market capitalism. Siphon up economics, because nothing has ever trickled down. And there's a image of Ronald Reagan pissing on the American flag shaped like the United States. That's trickle-down economics. That's it. Nothing has trickled down. Despite what Republicans tell you now, nothing has trickled down. Of course, the U.S. media seems to always give face time to Republicans over and over and over and over, and not nearly enough, actually never, FaceTime to Democrats except for MSNBC. I haven't seen sufficient FaceTime by any of the U.S. media for progressives, liberals, or even independents. Heaven forbid they should give FaceTime to progressive independents who are not corrupted yet because they're not part of the two-party system. So, really a shame. So let me show you the painting. You know, as old man Spock used to say, it is very illogical what is going on in this country today and what has been going on, especially the teabaggers. Extremely illogical. Old man Spock. This painting is the very latest watercolor painting by the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, which was just finished recently and signed.
I think.
Now, I need you to tell me.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, I know.
Take it up, down, down, down. Yeah, stay back. Right about there.
Yeah. All right. I'm far enough away where the people can see it. The newest painting.
And I think it's going to be entitled Crimson Panties.
Crimson Panty. That's a fancy way of saying red, right?
Yeah.
Crimson.
You're lucky I didn't say alizarin crimson.
What?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Alizarin.
Alizarin? You mean?
Alizarin crimson panties.
Does it have to do with red?
That's what red is called.
Does that have to do with red lizards?
No lizards involved.
You said alizarin. Or is that like Elizabeth?
It's the name of a color. Alizarin crimson.
Is alizarin crimson the most brightest of the crimsons?
Mm-mm.
And I don't like it.
No.
I only like bright, bold colors.
Well, then that might be like a...
So this is a pastel, is what you're trying to say.
a cadmium red, a bright red, some other red.
Strontium 90? Is there a color called strontium 90?
No.
What about plutonium?
No.
I don't ask for much. All I want is a little bit of plutonium.
That might be like a neon color, right? Plutonium?
All right, so there it is. All right, lovely, lovely. And of course, they will be scanned with all the other recent paintings, which I showed already.
If my computer holds out.
If I showed already on a past progressive discussions. Oh, I got a phone call from the representative of the greedy, evil, wicked 1% and the Republican Party, the Teabaggers, and this phone call was a very sinister, robotic voice, and it's a message for America's poor and soon-to-be poor middle class. Well, many middle class have become poor. You know, the ones that lost their homes.
Yeah.
This is how it sounded. We are here to kill you. We are here to kill you. We are here to kill you. We are here to kill you.
It's terrible.
That sounds like we are here to kill you.
Hmm. Terrible message.
Has sort of a Xylon sound to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are here to kill you. We are here to kill you. Wow. Just giving you a little Jew's Harp medley. I've had this since the 1980s. One of my exes gave it to me because her mother owned a company that made that imported accordions and concertinas, which she supplied to all the polka bands from in the Midwest, Wisconsin and Minnesota, and and she had these. They're from Italy. I have never, ever seen this style Jew's harp or Jaws harp in the United States. I don't see it. It's nice. It's lovely.
Lovely.
Yes. All right. It's enough. It's enough of that. Well, let's see. What other food scams have I encountered for the Chislers Hall of Shame recently?
We're going to have something on that.
My mother had she opened up a lean cuisine, frozen dinner. It was Salisbury steak, and of course the Salisbury steak on the front of the box, the photo looked almost like a filet mignon. And when I opened it up, when she opened it up, she says, "What the hell is this?" The puny little, all it is a hamburger with brown gravy. Salisbury steak.
And usually,
like Swedish meatballs are just meatballs with brown gravy, right?
and usually, like for the Hungry Man and the other one,
Hungry
there's
Man.
too much gravy.
Hungry Man. Oh yeah, they gravy it up. It's swimming in gravy with a small portion.
Uh-huh.
But on the advertisements, and you know, speaking of deregulation by conservatives of companies, the advertisement makes it look humongous. It makes it look like the meal was suitable for Paul Bunyan or something. But all it is gravy with a small portion of food. Disgraceful. You're sleazy, crooked bastards. The companies that own Lean Cuisine, Swanson Hungry Man Dinners. Also, shame on you, Marie Callender.
Ooh.
You know the Marie Callender pot pies
Yeah.
used to be so stuffed with equal amounts of veggies, potato, and meat. There was actually pieces of meat in there.
Wow.
Now, it's loaded with what I call cheap filler, which is potatoes. And you're looking for the meat. Well, I
Where's
mean,
the beef?
you already have the refined carbohydrates in the dough, in the pie crust. You already have the starchiness of the pie crust. Why do you need so many white potatoes when it says chicken or turkey pot pie? Answer me this.
Because potatoes are cheaper than meat?
Maybe they're stingy because they're greedy?
Yeah.
And maybe they get away with their shenanigans because they can? Because we have a bunch of sleazy slimeball Republicans running Washington?
Yeah.
Deregulation by the right? Makes sense? Makes sense? So shame on you, Marie Callender, like the other companies. And, of course, your frozen pizza companies do not give you what the advertisers show you.
I saw the other day on TV that there's some kind of situation where you go to the Pizza Hut website.
Pizza Hut? Oh,
You
yeah.
can sign up for a free pizza. I think it's daily.
Well, I saw a Domino's website where they claim everything is made fresh and everything, and of course the pizza looks like big and loaded with toppings. You know, I don't know.
Well, also the Pizza Hut is supposed to be running a special here with a medium pizza for $7.99 plus 2 toppings. Takeout only.
Okay.
No delivery.
No deriva.
No deliver. No deliver.
Deriva. Well, shame on you, CEO, you piece of shit. What's his name? Schachter? Papa John's. The company called Papa John's Pizza. The guy who is really stingy to his employees, doesn't want to give them health care or anything.
Because that's more profit.
He instead of raising the price of his pizza like 13 to 14 cents, he just decided not to give his employees any health benefits.
Since he's not paying taxes, that's more for profit. More money goes to profit.
Yeah. And employers, and employees in the United States, because of the situation, the condition of the job market and the economy, they have no other options. There's no other options, so that they're able to get away with what they get away with. And of course the news media, the ass-kissing, one of the biggest ass-kissers of all, the American news media, doesn't tell you everything. They just smile and say, and talk fondly of all these people.
Well, as far as the capitalist system is concerned, there is no real criticism of it.
No, you never hear it.
Never.
You never hear any real criticism of the devil's economics. You know? Okay, let us return and sink our crocodile teeth deep into these readings that we have here.
All right, this is in answer to that lingerie one we just
Oh, yeah.
noted.
The lingerie, before we took a break. Remember that one? And the parents that will go out and buy their daughters the slut clothes, the mothers that are buying their daughters slut clothes. Whatever happened to saying no to your children? Why must they always coddle their children? I'm talking about modern day parents. Why must they always say yes to them? I don't know.
I am a proud Victoria's Secret employee
Well, she's really kissing ass.
who is tired of listening to arguments that our pink line is targeting girls as young as 12.
She's tired of it. She's full of shit.
The Victoria's Secret pink line was and remains for college-age girls. Hence the recent spring break campaign.
So they want to make sure that there's more debauchery during spring break than the year before.
I agree
STDs.
with the arguments that pink is not appropriate for tweens.
Tweens?
Yes, that's not teens yet.
Pink is not appropriate. Don't they dress little girl babies in pink?
Yes, they do.
Infants? So what is wrong with the color pink? Don't blame the color pink. Blame the tongue.
However, this is not the fault or the responsibility of the company. Tweens' interests peak because some of their fellow classmates have irresponsible mothers who encourage their young daughters to pick out lingerie that is inappropriate for their age.
You know, I have to agree with this person, this statement. Don't blame the product. Don't blame the company. Blame the irresponsible, foolish parent. Just like don't condemn the show. If you don't like it, change the channel.
It is up to the parents, not the company, to responsibly introduce their daughters to lingerie that is age appropriate.
I have to agree. I take back what I said at the beginning of this this article, this comment. I agree with the spokesperson for Victoria's Secret. You know, show some responsibility as a parent. They're so worried about how their children are going to turn out and setting the right example. You know, so they talk about setting the right example and doing the best for their children, but then they turn around and do something like this. Take their daughter out to buy slut clothes. Which is what they are. Unfortunately. With all the promiscuity going on.
The Shroud of Turin
Okay.
went on display for a special television appearance Saturday.
The Shroud of Turin made a television appearance. Wow.
Amid new I don't know how it walked in.
You know, it flew in like a magic carpet.
Magic carpet.
With the Sheik of Baghdad. Yeah, Alibaba. Where's that guy? Aladdin.
40 Thieves.
Aladdin flew in on it. Yeah.
Amid new research disputing claims it's a medieval fake and purporting to date the linen some say was Jesus' burial cloth to around the time of his death.
Because of the image that was found in it.
Pope Francis sent a special video message to the event in Turin's cathedral, but made no claim that the image on the shroud of a man with wounds similar to those suffered by Christ was really that of Jesus.
Why isn't the Shroud of Turin in St. Peter's Basilica, in the Vatican? It's in a different church, a different cathedral?
As far as I know,
Yeah.
a few years ago they tested it and found it to be a fake.
Maybe that's why the Vatican...
So it was nowhere
doesn't
at that
work.
time, in limbo or whatever.
Okay.
And now they tested it again. They said, this gentleman has a book out, and it said the testers tested areas that were restored rather than the original cloth.
Oh, yeah.
So supposedly now they did carbon dating on the original cloth.
And what does the original cloth say?
Well, that's what they're saying. It says about the time of Jesus' death.
All right, so don't
They
count.
dated today.
Don't count the Shroud of Turin out yet. You know, I heard Germany, rumors that Germany has possession of the actual spear that Roman used to stick into Jesus' ribs and side, and they said it has great power.
Why would it have power?
Because it had the blood of Christ on it. What do you mean, why would it have power?
So what?
So what? That blood is like magic. It's holy, rather. It's got power, man.
No, it ain't.
What's wrong with you? It's the blood of Jesus.
So? He was a man.
So buttons. No, he's more than a man.
He was a man.
He performed miracles.
By the Holy Spirit, not by himself.
So in other words,
The Catholic Church is always looking for relics.
so his bodily fluids have no powers, is what you're stating.
That's correct. He was a man. God says that if you are a good Christian, you, by the Holy Spirit, should be able to move mountains. You should do greater things than Jesus.
Just based on that?
It's the Holy Spirit of God.
Then how come?
This is how the universe was created, through the Holy Spirit.
How come people today that are laying their hands upon others and praying and trying to heal them, how come they're not getting really miraculously healed like Jesus did?
Because today, first of all, you have to be a good Christian.
How many are
that
there
is
around?
A follower of Christ.
Yeah, how many do we have of those?
Then you must be, of course, repentant, baptized, and in the true church to be able to heal. You cannot have, be outside of those things and heal.
Right.
Healing, only God can heal. Doctors can't heal because God forgives sins.
You did
And most of the problems with the diseases and stuff are what you call physical sins. You have done something wrong, which has allowed this disease to take over.
Yes.
So therefore, it may need a forgiveness of a sin for you to get well, to be healed. And no man can do that, per se, unless he has the Holy Spirit of God. And only the repentant and baptized who follow Jesus, period, can have the Holy Spirit. And at this particular time, that's only the 144,000.
The elect.
The elect. Not all of these millions who are supposedly going to be raptured. 2 in a car, one gets raptured up, while the other is left in the car. This is ridiculous talk. And the magic power of something is idolatry. It goes back to having the God in your hand, a physical thing, the golden calf.
You told me
God is a spirit.
You told me that money is idolatry to conservatives.
If it becomes your focus of life,
well,
your God.
Well, it is their focus. Is money.
Whatever is the focus of your life is your God.
Oh, by the way, the
Number one focus.
new God Project reading by the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman is titled, "Is There Life After Death?"
Yeah.
Is There Life After Death? Is the new one.
Yeah.
In the new issue of Censored.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's.
Where was I?
Where was I?
Pope Francis
Yeah.
sent a special video message to the event in Turin's cathedral. So I guess it's in Turin, Italy.
Turin, Italy.
In that cathedral called Turin's Cathedral.
That's why it's the Shroud of Turin. because it's named after the town, the village.
Town, village, or the church.
The town is, the village is Turin.
Yeah, but the church is also called Turin.
Turin, and that's why the shroud was named Turin. Okay.
But made no claim that the image on the shroud of a man with wounds similar to Jesus was really that of Jesus. That's another thing. I believe the shroud shows a man with long hair. And Jesus did not have long hair.
How do you know? How do you know that?
Because it states that in the Bible.
You're trying to say Jesus...
Long hair is not a glory to man. It is to a woman.
You're trying to say that the Israelites all back then cut their hair like the Romans did?
A lot of people...
Not the facial hair, the hair.
A lot of people followed the style of the Romans and the Greeks.
Except for...
That particular world, the New Testament world, was Hellenistic. The Greeks.
Well,
everybody liked what the Greeks,
yeah.
you know, and of course the Romans copied.
Well, the Greeks had facial hair. I think the Romans shaved, right?
Well, I'm sure they did shave, but
I mean, according to
they had short
statues and images that I've seen.
But Jesus had short hair because he was a carpenter.
Yeah, he had short hair, shorter hair.
Shorter hair.
I'm not saying he had
not to the shoulders, as you see in these pictures, and as he appears in the movies.
Hollywood's Jesus.
Hollywood's Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a buzz cut called the fade. I mean,
no, he did not have a marine cut.
Like a buzz
for
the
God's
fade,
sake, or a skinhead. Not that short. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, the Vikings, the Saxons, you know, the Teutonic tribes, they had long beards, long hair. You know, they didn't cut anything.
Well, it's amazing too, because in those days, I mean, long hair was just a nuisance. A beard was just a nuisance to attract lice and fleas and stuff. You know.
Especially since they didn't have showers. And,
exactly.
You know, their personal hygiene was
questionable. They didn't clean their asses. You know, the whole thing.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they cleaned it in. What, the river, the creek. I don't know. What did they do?
I guess there was a time when they used leaves. No.
No, I mean washing. They.
Oh yeah, in a river. In a river. Well, you know what, King Henry VIII, he didn't wash. He didn't take out those clothes for, I don't know, weeks.
So that means maybe Queen Elizabeth.
And he had all those wives. They smelled like a pig.
Maybe even Queen Elizabeth I stunk. Well, Henry VIII. See, back then they had to drink fermented beverages like ale and wines and liquors because the public water was contaminated back then.
Typhus and all that stuff. You
Yeah,
go around very quickly.
Waterborne protozoas, you know.
Amoebas, parameciums, the whole thing. Cryptosporidium. Sporidium, everything. But I don't know if it was Gary Noe or some guy was in India.
Oh God!
And
the Ganges?
Yeah, the one guy would take a shit in the Ganges up there, the water go down to here, and this guy's bathing in it. You know?
That would be an excellent promo for Gary Noe's new water purifying system. Is to go when next time Gary goes to Italy. I mean, not Italy, India. Next time Gary goes to India to visit the Ganges, and have him on video putting Ganges river water through the Gary Noe filtration system.
And it coming out pristine.
Well, examining it to see if it is pristine.
Ooh.
Excellent promo. You can't get better than that.
This image, impressed upon the cloth, speaks to our heart and moves us to climb the hill of Calvary, to look upon the wood of the cross.
Is it there?
And to immerse ourselves in the eloquent silence of love, Pope Francis said.
I thought the crucifixion site was the present-day location of the church of the, what is it, the Holy Scapula?
The gold
Sepulchre or something?
Golgotha, the place of the skull.
Skull?
Skull. It looks like a skull.
Well,
Go up.
it's a tourist attraction for people that go to Jerusalem.
Well, if they have crosses up there, it's inaccurate. They were stakes, not crosses.
Yeah, they were crucified on a stake, like a tree trunk, sort of, right? So
Telephone pole.
yeah, so their hands,
Cell phone tower.
their hands were tied above the head.
Not tied, baby. Nailed.
Everybody was nailed, but not to the side.
I don't know about the thieves, whether they were nailed. I don't know what they did with them.
I don't know.
But I see all the time when I see them, it's a cross.
Well, in Hollywood, the thieves were on letter T's.
Yeah.
There
Cross.
was nothing. You know, Jesus had that symbol, that plate with words on it nailed above his head.
Here's the King of the Jews.
Is that what that said? Oh, okay. In other words, to mock him.
To mock him.
To mock him.
Yes.
I'm surprised God didn't lose his temper at that time and just
Because he's not.
destroy
Why?
the temple, destroy the Pharisees.
Why?
Because of how they treated Jesus.
But that's the reason he came.
To be disgraced and humbled and mocked that much, so he had to endure it
That's correct.
without retribution.
Without retribution. In all humility.
I would have leveled the Pharisees like I would have.
See,
Whoa.
but man has been doing that for 6,000 years,
Oh,
and it has not solved our problems.
I would have hit them with a category, I mean a Richter scale 10 earthquake.
Now,
I would have destroyed them.
when Jesus comes again,
Different story.
he will rule with a rod of iron.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, he won't look like
Speaking of retribution.
he won't look like the kinder and gentler Hollywood,
No, he will not. Or the
Jesus.
skinny thing that was on the cross.
emaciated.
With his ribs showing,
Yeah.
you know.
The
The man was a carpenter.
the whip,
Worked outside. Was very bronze and strength.
the cat o' nine tails that the Romans used with the metal blades.
Scourges. Scourges.
Scourge.
They ripped the skin.
They're called
They
scourges.
ripped the
So every time they whipped you, it dug into your flesh.
bone showed when he was done with him. Didn't you ever see the Passion of the Christ?
So he was beaten to a pulp.
Beaten to a pulp. And, by the way, that beating, getting back to healing, is what allows true healing. Because he went through that.
So it's not just the death alone, it was the suffering with the death
It all had its place.
that takes upon all the sin, the original sin of mankind from Adam and Eve, correct?
Correct.
But he could not be born of the original sin. That's why he was immaculately conceived by Mary.
That's not original sin. It has nothing to do with being born or no sex.
Well,
sex has nothing to do with the original sin.
No, I'm saying-
the original sin was disobedience. Do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil,
Right.
because on that day you will die. You will die. Because the wages of sin is
Death.
death. Before that, in the Garden of Eden, there was another tree there. The tree of eternal life. They could have chose that one. But the devil tempted Eve
Yeah.
to choose the other one.
Now, for those people out there that do not believe we're living in the end times, on the Facebook group Hard Hitting Truth, there is the verses from Timothy, I believe, 2 Timothy, that explains how people are or how they will become in the end times, and it matches perfectly to the way
Republicans.
to Republicans to the way people are today, to Republicans. Right on the money, perfect. Hey, speaking of Republicans, you ever notice that all of these Republicans that are in the spotlight all have the same shaped face, fat and round with jowls. It could be Pat Robertson. It could be the late Jerry Falwell. It could be Newt Gingrich. It could be Antonin Scalia, Rush Limbaugh. They all have that.
Marco Rubio?
Does he have a face like that?
I don't know. He's younger than
Pudgy
those
with
you're
jowls.
talking about.
Of course, Chris Christie has enough jowls for
How
all.
about Paul Ryan? He looks like a puppet.
Oh, he looks like a Muppet, man, like a puppet. Rubber face, right?
Howdy doody.
Yeah, he makes puppet faces.
Yeah.
He's very thirsty when he's nervous, though, Paul
So is
Ryan.
Marco Rubio.
Does Marco Rubio have a stupid, pudgy face with jowls?
Round face.
Round.
But I don't know if he's
Yeah, well,
pudgy.
Antonin Scalia is very much like that, too.
Oh, God.
Stupid ass.
Scalia's overweight.
But he's got that face.
Yeah.
You know, the jowly, you know. Anyway, continue.
This disfigured face, speaking of faces,
magic moment.
resembles all those faces of men and women marred by a life which does not respect their dignity, by war and violence which afflict the weakest, he said. And yet, at the same time, the face in the shroud conveys a great peace. This tortured body expresses a sovereign majesty. Many experts stand by carbon dating of scraps of the cloth that dated to the 13th or 14th century. However, some have suggested the dating results might have been skewed by contamination and have called for a larger sample to be analyzed. The Vatican has tiptoed around just what the cloth is, calling it a powerful symbol of Christ's suffering, while making no claim to its authenticity.
Well, there's not enough evidence to make that claim written in stone. I mean, there's a lot of evidence, but there's not enough.
And carbon dating is not very accurate at small distances, like 2,000 years.
Oh, really?
No.
It only works for like hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands?
Or millions. Because it's based on the fact that, whatchamacallit's on the half-life of the thing they're using. Whatever, radiation product they're using or whatever. Every radiation product has a half-life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say some had a half-life of 100 years.
Right.
Well, after 100 years, half of that product is gone. It no longer exists. The alpha rays or whatever, beta rays and whatever, they're gone. They've been being exuded all these years. So now it's only half of what it had 100 years ago. And in the next 100 years, half of that is going to be gone. And that's how they do it.
Okay.
The 14-foot long, 3 by 5 foot wide cloth is kept in a bulletproof, climate-controlled case in Turin's cathedral.
Oh, like King Tutankhamun would be preserved, would be kept, like a mummy.
Well, don't they have a lot of the Catholic whatever they are over there in the catacombs or whatever?
Sure.
In Montclair, New Jersey.
Remains?
Isn't there a remains of a nun in the side of a mountain?
I'm not
Oh,
familiar
well,
with that.
I drove by that many a time in the past. It's there. I wonder if Joe Palooka's in the mountain in Pennsylvania. There's a big cement plaque on the side of the mountain. Joe Palooka.
Oh, Joe Palooka was a real man?
I guess so. Maybe he's buried there.
Joe Palooka.
I was a child.
Did he have any idea how famous his name would become?
I don't know anything about Joe Palooka. All I know is it was in the side of the mountain there.
I wonder if someone existed with the last name of Jabroni. I wonder what the history of Jabroni is, aside from the Iron Sheik calling people a jabroni.
But It is only rarely open to the public.
Okay.
The last time was 2010, when more than 2 million people lined up to pray before it. See? There's the problem
Oh, here we
with
go.
relics and things of that nature. It's the same as the rosary beads and etc. They're praying to Mary, who is taking the dirt sleep.
Well, it's a bunch of Our Fathers and Hail Marys.
It doesn't matter.
There's Our Fathers in there, too.
They are directing their focus at a dead person. Therefore, it is idolatry.
Well, the Catholic Church does focus on Mary.
And saints.
Especially Catholicism in Latin America puts Mary at the top.
Because that goes back to the mystery religions, the Ishtar,
like we
etc.
got into during our pagan Easter special last time here on Progressive Discussions.
The latest display coincided with Holy Saturday. When is Holy Saturday?
Well, Saturday is the real Sabbath, so I guess every Saturday should
They
be
don't believe in that. Their Sabbath is Sunday. So what's Holy Saturday?
Yeah, well, I told Ken Create about that, and he says, well, they probably changed it because a lot of people are off on Sunday, and it makes it easier for them. He said it's nitpicking.
No, Emperor Constantine and the Catholic Church changed it.
He said it's nitpicking.
No, it isn't.
Ken said.
It's changing the sign that God gave to Israel. That I am your God and you are my people. Didn't say you can change it when you want to.
And that's why you told me Wednesday that you believe the mark of the beast is changing the Sabbath from Saturday
It
to
was back then, and
to
it will be in the future.
when they change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. Is what you're saying is the mark of the beast.
And those people, like back in those days when the emperors said, no Judaism, no Judaizing, we will make our own. Therefore we will change this date that the Jews have. We will change it to the first day of the week.
That's why they adopted all of the pagan religions from Babylon
Because
and
it was easier to
Egypt.
get the people in and convert them that way.
Yeah.
Because they were used to doing those festivals.
So instead of using the original Christian holidays, like the Day of Pentecost, the
Unleavened bread.
unleavened bread, Feast of the Tabernacles, or Pumpernickels, or something.
Pumpernickels, etc.
Tabernacles.
etc.
Etc., etc. They adopted the Holy Roman Empire in the beginning of the Catholic Church, started by Simon Magus, not started by Jesus, adopted pagan religions as the first Christian holidays, and not the holidays they are supposed to adhere to because they did not want to Judaize Christianity.
Correct. So anyway, Holy Saturday, when Catholics mark the period between Christ's crucifixion on Good Friday and his resurrection on Easter Sunday, which, by the way, did not occur, as we said last week, because that's only 36 hours. So you were calling Jesus a liar. Then, if you believe that crap. Because he told you very clearly, I shall be in the grave for 72 hours.
Right.
3 days and 3 nights. 3 periods of light and 3 periods of dark. 72 hours. A few hundred people, many in wheelchairs, were invited inside the cathedral for the service presided over by Turin's Archbishop. It was only the second time the shroud was gone on display, specifically for a television audience. The first was in 1973, at the request of Pope Paul VI. The display also coincided with the release of a book based on new scientific tests on the shroud that researchers say date the cloth to the 1st century. The research in the mystery of the shroud by Giulio Fanti of the University of Padua and journalist Savario Gaeta is based on chemical and mechanical tests on fibers of material extracted for the carbon dating research. What you see is not what you get. The fish in the package with the American flag on its label could be from China, Vietnam, or any other nation far from the United States. If you check the label on the blueberry muffin mix, you'll find lots of ingredients including alginate, propylene glycol, and potassium sorbate. But not blueberries.
Especially if you go into a Quick Check or 7-Eleven and get one of those any meal that's designed to take out of the box and warm up in a microwave has loads of chemicals in it. You know, it's like good. Listen, somebody said something very clever that I had to post it on my group, my Facebook group, Holistic Health Talk. They said that real food, real healthy food, is never advertised on TV.
And it goes bad very quickly.
Yes.
No shelf life.
Very perishable.
Very perishable.
You ever read a loaf of supposedly whole grain bread? You ever read the ingredients of a loaf of whole grain bread?
And they have some sort of
slice sold in a supermarket?
Yeah, and they have some sort of preservatives in there.
Yeah, and even chemicals to keep it moist. Keep it from drying out.
And don't let the colorful pictures of oranges or berries deceive you into thinking there is actually fruit juice in that carton.
Oh yeah, like that was that Sunny D. That's that crap they sell, Sunny Delight or Sunny.
That's just chemicals.
Yeah, they have some artificial orange chemical to make it look super duper.
What about the one, the
fluorescent orange? Huh?
Bright and early.
Bright
Orange
and early.
juice carton.
Bright and early. Oh, there's a lot of shit in
There's
there
an
too.
orange on it.
Oh, there's a lot of crap in there too?
I guess so. They have a picture of it right here.
Bright and early.
Check the labels. In food stores across Bergen and Passaic counties, you could be surprised how much food packaging is misleading, plays down significant information, or reveals far too many ingredients that you can't even pronounce.
This is perfect for our this week's Chiseler's Hall of Shame.
My excursion was prompted by news that Coca-Cola will introduce a new zero-calorie carbonated drink this week. It's called Fruit Water and will be sweetened with the artificial sweetener sucralose.
Oh, gee, wonderful. They can't use natural stevia?
A.K.A. Splenda.
Splenda. Again, we were discussing that. I had no idea he was going to read this article. If you get Coke or Pepsi in another country, there is a fraction of the sugar in the Coke and Pepsi compared to the American sold
because
Coke
their
and
palates
Pepsi.
can't take it.
Well, my palate can't take it either. I hate it. It's nauseating, the sugar.
And it will come in black raspberry, orange mango, lemon lime, and strawberry kiwi, and watermelon punch.
So I guess sucralose.
Would you like a Hawaiian punch? Sure.
I guess sucralose is the lesser of the two evils compared to aspartame. You know? Yeah, but I told Bill when we have our secret private powwows on Wednesday, I told him that if you go to a Latin or an Asian market, they sell the European formula of Ovaltine, which has no sugar. There is no sugar in the European formula from the Ovaltine company. The first ingredient is malt extract with vitamins, minerals, whey protein, some lecithin, I believe, and let's see, and cocoa powder.
Cocoa powder. Oh, good.
But no sugar. It is concentrated because they know the Europeans won't tolerate the garbage. Or the Asians.
Sounds great, but
yeah,
a more accurate name would be fruitless water. Because that's the reality. It will not contain any fruit juice.
And the FDA, or possibly the USDA, allows them to market it with healthy sounding words. There you go.
Unfortunately, this type of product is all too common. Consider Bright and Early, a drink found in the juice section at Walmart.
Oh, Walmart, there you go.
Right above the Tropicana orange juice.
Oh, so it looks like it's keeping good company.
It is described as an orange, naturally and artificially flavored drink.
Drink. Anytime something it says drink, or instead of pure juice. And you know what's deceiving?
Beware.
You know what's deceiving? All right. Like, my mother loves the cranberry juice cocktail from the Dollar Tree. And I tasted it. And it tastes like it's not sweet at all. It tastes like predominantly cranberry juice. Then I go and taste the Ocean Spray light, the new light, low sugar, whatever, Ocean Spray light cranberry juice cocktail, low-cal cocktail from Ocean Spray that my sister got, and it was sweet as hell. So I looked at the ingredient, and it had so many other pasteurized fruit juices mixed in with the cranberry that, in other words, they advertise it as being low calorie and low carb, but how true is that?
And that's not the kind to use for a urinary infection, believe me.
No, you want more cranberry, because I love the tartness. It's very refreshing. I mean, real cranberry juice cocktail, and not this other product that is loaded with other fruit juices, because food companies feel Americans just have to have everything super sweet. You know?
And
take a look at all the obese honey boo boo people that are in America.
Its package features a large orange.
And a very brightly colored, I bet, orange, right?
If you look near the bottom of the carton, you'll see that it contains no juice.
Oh, so like.
It is made in a lab, not grown on a tree.
Kind of like Monsanto's genetically modified freaks of nature, the freakazoid livestock.
With filtered water and high fructose corn syrup.
Which is not good for you. It is
Two
not good
of the leading ingredients.
Need I say more about the U.S. food industry? Need I say more?
Blueberries
Real blueberries?
are another elusive fruit.
Ah, the elusive blueberry.
They appear in a variety of mixes, but as with the orangeless drinks, many of the mixes, including Jiffy and Manischewitz blueberry muffins and Krusty's blueberry pancakes,
Manischewitz is making blueberry muffins?
are flavored with artificial or imitation berries.
Okay. Shame on you, Manischewitz. I thought everything was supposed to be under rabbinical supervision.
Kosher, baby.
I thought it's supposed to be Circle K kosher. What are you doing putting synthetic blueberries in a kosher product?
Making more profit.
Like Manischewitz blueberries. So you sold out Manischewitz, huh?
Less ingredients, more profit.
Sold out. Even the rabbis have sold out. What's next? Hebrew National is going to put out a Actually, I like Hebrew National products. They use high quality beef, high quality meat.
So far.
With no roadkill and no byproducts.
Oh, roadkill.
No byproducts. Their cooked salami is the best on the market, and their hot dogs, their Franks, are great. But you know, come on, Manischewitz blueberry muffins using fake blueberries.
A Betty Crocker super moist carrot cake mix also caught my eye.
We got a lot of shame on yous. A hall of shames this week.
Little orange slivers in the picture reminded me of the super carrot cake my wife made 2 weeks ago.
Maybe
there was a difference.
Maybe his wife didn't make it. Maybe she took it out of the box and threw the box away and made it look like she baked it.
She shredded actual carrots.
Oh, she did make it.
But this has only carrot-flavored pieces.
Carrot-flavored pieces?
What the hell could the pieces be? They
God
have to be flavored
God only
like
knows.
a carrot.
God only knows.
Manufactured with corn syrup,
More crap. That's bad for you.
flour, cottonseed or soy oil. Now, cottonseed oil has pesticides were used on the plant,
And they're
so you do not use anything with cottonseed.
and the
Oil.
corn and all this probably comes from GMO corn and soy and cottonseed.
Soy oil, yeah.
I mean GMO,
Yeah.
not certified organic
Yeah.
corn and soy and cottonseed.
And carrot powder. What the hell is carrot?
Carrot-like powder.
Along with the ever-present food dyes.
There we go. To look pretty.
Royal pistachio pudding
Wow.
had a different twist.
Pistachios.
It had no pistachios.
How was it spelled? Was it piss, P-I-S-S, stachios? Excuse
oh
me.
my God.
I had to give it 3 levity bells.
Oh my God.
Maybe they added an extra S and it was piss stachios instead of pistachios. It had no pistachios in it.
None.
You know, this is a very applicable article in adjunct to the Chiseler's Hall of Shame there, Dr. Bill. Very applicable. Finish that article.
I did.
Oh, you did. So there's no pistachios in the pistachio.
No pistachios in pistachio pudding.
So it's synthetic pistachio-like pudding.
Something, something colored green.
And the magic part of that whole reading is that our beloved Food and Drug Administration and USDA allows all these companies to create these chemical-laden, toxic foods. I wouldn't call them foods.
They're messing with our food, man.
It's slow genocide. Hey, maybe it's part of culling the herd.
Talk about why the health insurance industry is in problems.
Yeah.
You know, because they're making us all sick.
The revolving door. You eat the poison, you get sick. The American healthcare system rakes in the massive profits. The drug companies rake in the profits. You come out, you never get cured because you're continually eating the poison from the supermarket. So it's a big revolving door. It goes round and around and around. You're a sucker. It's a big racket. The government's in on it. The scumbag corporate CEOs are, of course, in on it. They send lobbyists to Washington. They make sure that their racket continues. You believe the conservative propaganda, or not us, I mean the mainstream, the idiots, the teabaggers believe the propaganda. They vote Republican. They believe trickle-down economics still exists, ever existed, does exist, rather. Everybody's suckered. Same people get elected. Blah, 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 blah. It goes around and around, and nothing changes. Oh, by the way, Ashley Judd backed out, I heard. She unusually and quickly stepped down from running against a turtle-faced Mitch McConnell in Kentucky.
Maybe they found something, a skeleton in her closet.
Well, she is very flirtatious on talk shows, so maybe she has some high mileage. Ashley Judd.
Could be, because don't put that past Republicans.
Maybe Ashley Judd has got a lot of shillelaghs in her life.
They do a lot of underhanded stuff.
Oh, they're famous for digging up dirt because they are relentless at winning. The Republicans do not want to lose.
Only winning.
Only
winning. They do not govern.
No.
They rule when they can, but they do not govern.
They don't solve problems.
They don't solve problems. They don't put forward legislation in reference to the common person. It's always legislation for the big boys and girls.
That's true. And the people, the idiots, continue to believe what they hear on mainstream media, prime time. They continue to believe the propaganda from the right because the U.S. media only gives face time to the right, and they probably, I don't know how they do it, but maybe a lot of people accept that stupid law that corporations are a person. How could they be a person?
They accept a bigger law than that.
And what is that?
Democrats are baby killers, secular humanists, and atheists.
Well, a fertilized egg has not been proven to be a human being. An embryo that breeds like a fish was not proven to be a human being. And they're against everything that's positive. They're against stem cell research.
They're against Plan B too. You know, in case a young teenager gets pregnant accidentally,
I mean,
she can go right now, as the judge said.
Yeah.
She can go to the pharmacy section and pick up Plan B.
Oh, the
which will abort that situation.
The abortion pill
immediately. And of course, the Republicans don't like that.
But no, they want her to have the baby.
That's correct.
Now,
and then the baby will be on welfare.
Now,
because they're not going to take care of it when it's born. They only like the fetus.
Not the child who's already born.
Not the child who it becomes.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's like the Catholic Church telling poor people in Latin America not to use birth control, not to use contraception. Meanwhile, the Catholic Church is not supporting all of those extra children being born by poor families. You know, like they tell you how to live your life, but it's you that have to
suffer
the consequences.